Big hello to everyone. Just by way of introduction, my name's Tim Bryers. I'm Key Account Manager for the SuperGold card. I've been with the SuperGold card for a long time now. A huge part of my role is negotiating discounts with businesses that to come on board and offer SuperGold discounts. I've got some slides here, but really wanted to be as interactive as possible. So, at any particular point along the presentation, by all means, just jump in if you've got a question. This is really about yourselves getting as much value out of it as possible. So, welcome, all feedback. Might not all be rosy, but I really welcome these situations for getting a bit of a direct feedback from SuperGold card holders themselves. So really appreciate your time. But if we get into it, just got a few introductory slides, just really around the program itself. Can I just check? Can everyone see the presentation? That's all up on your screens.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So really the premise of SuperGold is about helping you stretch your money further. It's around offering instant discounts and special offers. We very much know that, and I'll go into the wide range of categories that SuperGold covers, but a feedback that we get from our research very regularly shows that SuperGold card holders are really keen on getting discounts off what we call everyday essentials. So your food, fuel, power, those unavoidable costs. So they're also, if I can say, they're the hardest to get. Some of the larger companies out there, do have a captive audience somewhat, but we've definitely made some really good progress with some of the larger providers, and we'll continue to have discussions with others to join. Also, just wanted to call out at the start, another key part of the program, which is the transport. I don't know how many of you have got a AT Hop gold coloured card for your transport, but with the SuperGold concession loaded on it. But it was just to quickly make to clarify that SuperGold itself is produced and sent out via Ministry of Social Development. This is where I work in. But the transport side is managed through the Ministry of Transport, and it's funded via Vote Transport. So it was just to make that little bit of a just sort of share that little bit of detail for you. And just had a bit of a slide showing this was the older design of the SuperGold card, which is still out there. When I say older design, we've had a new design in play for about a couple of years now, but both cards are still absolutely valid. It was just a branding process that happened after we relaunched our website back in 2019, just to bring everything in alignment. But there are currently over.
What's the difference between the TM card and the total mobility?
Between the AT card and the total mobility, Brian?
Yes.
Yeah, the total mobility, my understanding is that's a discounted rate when you use taxis. I think it's a 50%.
Oh, yes, I know that one.
Yeah, so and the AT Hop card, it's when you use it in off-peak hours, albeit in Auckland you guys are really lucky because you get the off-peak starting at 9 o'clock onwards. For the rest of the country, that cuts off at 3:30. 3 o'clock till 6:30, and then starts again from 6:30 until end of service. But that period between 3 and 6:30 in Auckland isn't funded through the SuperGold card fund. It's funded via Auckland Transport. So if you go to another part of the country, you won't be able to travel using your SuperGold concession in that peak period of between 3 and 6:30. So we do get card holders who travel up to Auckland and think it's wonderful, and then contact us to say why isn't it the same over the country. But it's as I said, it's not funded by SuperGold. It's funded by Auckland Transport, that peak period. But no, good question. So there's currently over 900,000 SuperGold card holders nationwide, which is quite a few. Just to put that into perspective, it's enough to fill Eden Park over 17 times. So that's it's a lot of people, and continue to grow as well. This infographic here shows the distribution around the country. As you'd probably be very aware, Auckland's the largest area there, with just about 250,000 SuperGold card holders, and the main city centres, as you'd expect, have the higher numbers, but that's just of interest. That's just the spread of card holders across the country. And this was from Stats New Zealand. So actually, there'll be 1 million people aged 65 plus in New Zealand by 2028. So we're well on the way to reaching that milestone. From my point of view, this is very much the sort of figures and form part of the conversation that I have with the larger businesses, and they are very aware that yourselves are a very important cohort as far as offering value, and very much seeing you as a key part of their business channel, which is great. And just further to that, the program itself saw over 500 new businesses joining. So again, we continue to attract new business. A lot of our businesses are what they call SMEs, the small and medium enterprises. So unfortunately, on the other side, there are businesses that will go out of business, but yeah, it's great to still see that businesses see value in joining the program. And the other thing I just wanted to make the point of, the businesses fund the discount that they provide themselves. So whereas the transport is funded via Vote Transport, the actual business discounts themselves are funded by the businesses themselves. And in total, there are over 5,500 SuperGold businesses, and they're represented by 10,000 outlets across the country. When I mean outlets, for instance, Noel Leeming, we count as one business, but they might have 75 stores across the country, so that's 75 business outlets. And the types of offers that we have via SuperGold, it really is across, the whole spectrum of where you can spend your money. I spoke before, obviously, about those everyday essentials, and absolutely we're looking to create value and offer value within those. But yeah, in all areas that whether you might want to be looking at accommodation, or going out to a restaurant, or selling your property, or general retail and so forth, there are businesses in all those categories offering SuperGold discounts. If I could just ask, and again, I also know there's a number of you on the calls and so forth, could I ask if anyone has used their card lately, and what kind of business they actually used it at?
Yes, I've used it at Noel Leeming.
Oh, okay.
Spotlight, previously with petrol. So, yeah, and I also, I think one of the coffee clubs or someone like that, or Columbus, someone has got a recognises gold card. So from time to time, I do go on the website and see what is there, just to remind me that that is there for us to enjoy.
Wonderful. Thank you, Deb.
Yeah, I've used it at New World and Noel Leeming recently.
Oh, very good. Wonderful. No, look,
you might be able to clarify. Countdown were having a SuperGold day, but I've heard whispers since then, the change over to Woolworths, that they're no longer offering that. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, no, good question, Chris. And I think it's actually the exact opposite. So from what I know, and I'm not saying anything about from what you've heard of, is that there are currently 93 stores across the country that offer the discount. So it's a little over half these stores. When they joined, it was around a third. And it's actually when they're swapping over from Countdown to the Woolworths branding, at the same time, we're finding more and more stores are joining, offering the SuperGold Tuesday discount. So yeah, so which is fantastic, and definitely. So I'm based in Wellington here, and there's been 3 or 4 supermarkets as they've joined, have now offer the SuperGold Tuesday. So I'm hoping that continues with the ideal is to get everyone on board, because I understand that can be a bit confusing, and also for people that might be in an area that the supermarket itself has made the decision not to join as yet. It can be frustrating, so we continue to work with them, but no, I can absolutely say it's the other way around, in a way that we're having more joining all the time.
It's most interesting. So it's up to the individual franchise holders, is it?
They still have a lot of the actual individual owner operators have a big say, and even though the head office itself can again, they have their own sort of commercially sensitive information sharing and so forth. But my understanding is it comes down to a number of different elements, including competition, and but the individual store owners have a big say in what happens.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It's a great question. Right, so this is just the homepage of the SuperGold website, and I'm just about to swap screens to go through just a couple of points of the information that's on there. So I'm just going to stop sharing there for a sec, and oh, can everyone see?
Nothing.
The blank screen.
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Can everyone else see that? Cool.
Awesome,
Yes.
wonderful.
Can now.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. So again, if I could just ask the question, I know a couple of you just said before, which was awesome, about using the website. Could I just get a little bit of feedback on who actually firstly knows about the SuperGold website and who uses it, or who has used it?
Yeah.
No.
Awesome.
Okay.
Wonderful. So there are some changes. We're constantly looking at ways of improving the search. There are sort of focus groups and user testing that happens when any changes are made. And it's really about trying to, beforehand, the website itself was a lot more visual, with some, lovely big, smiling images of people using their card. But feedback from card holders was really around, they want a more direct way of knowing how to search, and making the search easy rather than the homepage being too complicated. So at the moment, the search bar itself that's why it's in the sort of premium real estate of the homepage itself. And we have this area here for special offers. Myself, this is a great tool for both new businesses that are coming on board, as well as some of our larger ones in those key categories, such like Woolworths and Fresh Choice and so forth, to help create the awareness that they offer a discount. But just to sort of very simply sort of walk through a couple of parts to the website, you'll see here, and hopefully everyone can see my little icon moving. Is that right? I'm just hovering over the location button here, and you can set this to wherever you want. So I've already set it to Auckland. So choosing Auckland first, you can then go down to the next drop-down menu, and you've got the option of choosing a district. So choosing Manukau, and then that just means that if you're putting something in, and even if I was to put the word food in, and again we're looking at inventive ways of trying to have, even if you didn't really know, for instance, a specific place that you were looking for, or a business name, we're trying to get businesses themselves to use keywords, so then that tags their business for when you're putting in a more general term such as food and so forth, for coming up with relevant results. So just putting the word food, which is pretty general, because that then comes up with a whole number, and being in Auckland, you've got a lot of different business options here. So sort of scrolling through, you can also refine your search here just on the left-hand side. Some of the offers are online, and that's one thing we're looking to do, is to make it a lot clearer for those online offers, especially for people that are outside of the main city centres. Yourselves are very lucky you've got access to the transport and a lot of businesses, but there are SuperGold card holders outside of the main city centres that don't necessarily have that access. And so, especially with the online offers, we're definitely trying to make a focus on helping it make easier for card holders to know where they can also access those benefits without actually having to be physically near that store. But if I go just to the in-store offer, if you are willing to travel to these businesses, this is the sort of list that comes up that you can just scroll through to. And there was that Columbus coffee there, Deb, that you had mentioned before.
Yeah.
So we encourage businesses to use business graphics and so forth. It does make it more interesting and more enticing, just the same as any other sort of brochure information that you have and so forth. And then down here, you can actually says, where can I find the business? So you can just keep on scrolling down to find one that is nearest yourself. And yeah, just handy little links next to that that you can then actually type in your location and so forth for getting there and that. And this, by the way, is all available. So even though later on I'm going to talk about the app, you don't have to have the app too. You can actually access the website if you did on your mobile phone, and it will automatically resize for that. And we actually recently, we always keep stats and so forth. It's around 60% of card holders accessing the website do so via a mobile device. So we're actually finding more and more. I don't know whether that resonates with yourself, but more and more seniors are using their mobile phones as a key channel. But also, that people still have the desktops and the laptops and so forth. So yeah, that was just a. So I also, just along the top here, there's a number of different drop-down menus for helpful information. If I went to the info for card holders and so forth, this shows you how to get a SuperGold card. If you are eligible for New Zealand Super, when you get that granted, you automatically get a card issued to yourself. But if you were a resident of New Zealand and not eligible for New Zealand Super, you have to apply for the SuperGold card. So this is just really a PDF form that people can download and fill out. It also talks about if people are eligible for a community services card and other helpful information, such as if you lost your card and needed to order a replacement card. So that was just some, and there's a SuperGold app guide down here, but I must admit it does have a few older screenshots of the app which are about to get updated. So even though I'm just going to click on this now, it is helpful in a way that it does have a step by step, and I'm just about to move on to the app soon, about how to download it and what the icon looks like and so forth. But I'll say now that some of these screenshots were from an earlier version of the app, but we haven't updated it yet because we're just about to go through some more changes. That'll be happening by the 1st of October, but I'll still would absolutely say this will be helpful after this. So don't have to feel that, you have to take any notes, or not that you would, but it's and it sort of talks about the compatibility of it with different versions of a phone that you might have.
Hello. Oh, the telephone's here.
Here we go. It also has on here, and I won't go into this in too much detail, info for business partners, both for new partners. They have a login, so they can go into their listing to update it as and when they need to. So, and it's really important too that we continue to have a very sort of active relationship with our businesses, because they're the key ones to sort of hold that value, offering the value for card holders. The other thing that I just wanted to show you was something that only launched in October of last year, is a section specifically about other support and services for seniors. So recognising that SuperGold is a key channel for connecting with the senior community in New Zealand, this was developed and you can get there from up on the top menu saying support and services, or you can click on any of these tiles here, or you can click on this little button here. It all goes to the same place. And this here is talking about different things such as rates rebate. There's a card in here about check what you might get, which is a tool from the Ministry of Social Development that helps you find out if you're eligible for any other support. There's information about the community services card. They're not all government information. Some of it is from a lot of them are government based, but they're not all, should I say, Ministry of Social Development. You've got some information here, for instance, about the winter energy payment for those that may not have been au fait with that. And this is just an example. When you click into there, it gives a brief explanation about the actual payment itself, and it'll have links to the work and income site to make it easy to get to find out exactly the information about when it starts, when it finishes, and who gets it, just as an example.
That's excellent.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, that's great. We've so there's been over 150,000 visits to this site since it was launched. We do promote it through our SuperGold e-newsletter that goes out, and again, I'll be mentioning that a bit later on in the presentation. So I'll be interested to see who gets that, because it's a key channel for us to let people know when there's different enhancements and so forth as well. So there we go.
Talking about enhancements, Tim, it may well be underway already. Is it possible or feasible to break some of those areas down? Like, for instance, Auckland, Manukau. It's a pretty wide area, and we've got East Auckland, West Auckland, North Shore, and so.
Absolutely. And Chris, you're going to get you've got some very insightful questions. I'd almost think that we had a chat before the presentation, because it's the checks in the post. It's a very good question, and look, absolutely, that is one of the key enhancements. If I can give you semi-confidentially a bit of a heads up, that will be happening in the next couple of months. We are looking at the geolocation of the discount, so that it will be an easier way for yourselves to set a radius for finding what businesses are in there close to you, rather than having to go for a more broad brush. I'm choosing Manukau, and I have to scroll through the discounts to find something that's of relevance to myself. So if I can say, absolutely, that's what is being worked on and will be delivered in the upcoming months.
Awesome.
Brilliant. That's what you wanted me to say, wasn't it?
That's exactly what I want you to say, Chris. Confidentially.
Yeah.
So no, that's a very good point. So and again, it's a great point too, because as much as we concentrate on getting businesses on board, it's all about the ease of use. And if we don't necessarily get feedback or just what you mentioned, Chris, if you go to use this and you think, oh God, goodness, it's great there's so many discounts, but I really can't be bothered scrolling through to find the ones that are applicable to myself because they're in my actual area, then you're not going to tend to want to use it. So we generally want to make this as easy as possible. So which is a nice segue, because something that already does offer that is the SuperGold app. So I'm just going to stop sharing here, and I'm just going to go back to the presentation.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed was that a few of the companies, they were only offering 5% discount. Now that's not worth having.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say you could say that, and if I could play devil's advocate on that, so picking one out, say the 5% discount for Woolworths on a Tuesday, so they have so they've got an everyday rewards program that everyone might be aware of, and you need 2,000 points to get a $15 voucher. So you need to spend, I think it is $2,000 to get a $15 voucher. So, but for SuperGold card holders, it's a 5% discount. So every $100 you spend, you're getting $5 off, and so you're spending $300 to get that same discount from the general public. So as much as, and don't get me wrong, believe me, I'm trying to, I mean, even having a supermarket on board has taken a long time to negotiate, but I can understand that, you know, from a percentage wise, it may seem small, but I don't mean to take a strap line from a well-known supermarket over in the UK called Tesco's, but every little helps. But more so, everything also adds up. So as much as it might be 5% here, 5% there, they do actually, yeah, when I say all add up. But that one, but I do absolutely understand that for some, you know, offers and so forth, 5%, you know, is absolutely, you know, at the smaller end. I'd say the biggest, the average discount is 10% across the board for most discounts that we have for SuperGold. But yes, within some of those categories, especially supermarkets, 5% is the maximum they're offering, which is also the same as their staff discount. So their staff don't get any more than that either. So, but just to give a little bit of context around
I
it.
can confirm my husband did work there, so as a staff member, it's literally 5%.
There we go. Thanks, Whitney. So, but no, look, good point, and please keep the feedback coming. Really appreciate the opportunity to be able to, if not necessarily give you the answer you want, to also just provide some context around it. So thanks very much for that. Just going on now. So with the app itself, does everyone, I was going to say firstly, could I just ask who has already downloaded the SuperGold app?
Yeah.
Is aware of it?
No.
Thanks, Deb. No, that's okay. For those that haven't, I've just got a couple of screenshots of both the App Store. If you had a Apple phone, this is what it looks like. And again, I'll be showing you that when I go to my different screen on my phone. So this is what it looks like. You're searching under the word SuperGold NZ. It's all one word, and if you do that in the search bar, it'll come up with this page here. If you were searching and you had an Android phone like a Samsung, this is what the page looks like in Google Play. So again, you're searching under the same word, SuperGold NZ, and it's exactly the same icon that's shown up here, sort of a very lovely gold button with the word gold on it. So, and I'm just about to go onto my phone now just to show you some of the functionality of the app. But just to let you know that this was launched back in October 2019 as part of also a website upgrade that we had. And since then, there's been over 650,000 cumulative app downloads. So I say cumulative in a way that someone may have changed devices, but it'd be the same person. So that's not 650,000 individuals, but it's still a generous amount of people that have the app downloaded. The challenge for ourselves is actually getting people to use it. I was at a tech expo at the end of last year up in Auckland, met a lot of lovely card holders who were really keen on using their card as much as possible. A lot of them, in fact, all of them, I think, all of them bar two had the app downloaded, but they weren't necessarily using it, and they couldn't tell me why. It wasn't because it was hard to use. They said they downloaded it and they just sort of put it to the back of their minds, not really sort of thinking about it. So our challenge is really about, you know, how can we encourage people to, or card holders to use the app as much as possible, especially for those people that may not be comfortable asking for a discount if they didn't see any signage up at a business. It's great if people can have the confidence of searching for a discount when they're out and about on their phones, to be able to use that to, you know, to go into stores. We send out signage to all businesses that join the program, and they should be showing it, but sometimes it's the case that it might be in a position that is missed by card holders. So yeah, so that was just a little bit of background about how we're really encouraging people that can use the app to download it. And I'll just go on to Right. Can everyone see my phone okay?
Yep.
Wonderful. So if I actually just go to the App Store first, just to show you where I'd be using it. So this is an iPhone, so I'm looking for the App Store, not Google Play Store. So I'd be clicking on that. And then I'd be going down to the bottom right-hand side of the screen for the search. And again, I'm just typing in there, SuperGold. And it actually already comes up because it is quite a popular app, SuperGold NZ. So I could just select that one. And there it is there. I've already downloaded it, so I'm going to be just pressing open. But if you didn't, you'd be looking to press the little button get. So I'm just going to open that now. And this is I've actually had set it already to Manukau. You can see there in the, sorry, I don't have a little cursor I can show, but in the top right-hand corner. But you can, myself pressing on there, it's very similar to the functionality that was on the website, that you can go into your location to select Auckland, to select the districts and so forth, to to have it then showing up on the and also it's like a built-in filter really for any businesses that you're looking for. So, but again, taking the point that was made before by yourself, Chris, I think it was, we still realise that that is a very wide area. So yeah, we're looking to be a little bit more intuitive. But one thing I really wanted to show you, because again, this works in exactly the same way that you can type into the search bar, you know, keywords and so forth to find a business. But if you look down the bottom, the very bottom, there's a little menu that says home, and it's got a little teardrop that says near me. I don't know if everyone can see that down the very bottom. If you click on that, and I'm in Wellington, so this is going to be showing it visually for myself. These are all the businesses in central Wellington that offer a SuperGold discount within my vicinity. That little blue dot is where I am at MSD along the terrace in Wellington, for anyone that knows Wellington very well. And all these little icons, if I press on one of them, again, it's hard because I don't have a cursor, but I pressed on one which had a little plus sign on it indicating health, and when I pressed on it, it came up with the actual details of the offer itself. If you look at the very above that, above what's called Bowen Street, which is at the top of it's a little icon showing a little coffee cup. I know it might be a bit hard to see just with the size of the screen, but if I clicked on that, that was 10% off at Bellamy's high tea. So that was just an example of, and if I actually click on for more information, I can scroll through to get a bit of a description. Gosh, doesn't that look nice? And I can also press the button add to favorite. So if I'm going along and searching for a few different discounts, if I press that add to favorites, down the very bottom of the screen, you'll notice that there's a little heart icon with favorites underneath it. If I press on that, I'd saved the Laithwaite's offer before, but it's saved that now into a separate list. So again, back to your point, Chris, this is a way of making perhaps a list of favorites for a quick reference, rather than having to feel that, oh, I remember seeing a discount there and I have to go through the whole process again of trying to find the cafe or restaurant, especially if you're traveling out of town, or, you know, but even if you're going into the city yourself, so you can, have a list ready to go for quick reference if you found that helpful. So, yeah, you can also set preferred categories. Again, it's like a quick reference list, and you can go in at any time to just use tick boxes if you wanted to add in home and garden, for instance, or pets, and then you can update that. And that updates to your preferred categories. Again, just a way of what's the word for it, of having your app, I suppose, curated to your own preferences as far as categories and discounts go.
Personalised.
Well, sorry, I just missed that. Was there a question?
Personalised. Personalised.
Yes, personalised. Absolutely, Chris. No. Very good.
I've just seen that Muffin Break at Ormiston gives us 15% off Monday to Friday. That's better than a kick in the bum.
There we go. It certainly
That's
is.
awesome.
That is
Ormiston, everyone.
Yeah. That is awesome, and Muffin Break have only, when I say recently, joined in the last few months. So
Wow.
I'm really pleased that you mentioned that. So yeah, so no, that and look, that discount when it was mentioned before about the 5%, 15% is definitely something that and it's a conversation I have with businesses as well. You know, yes, they fund the discount, but they fund the discount when they make a sale. So you know, if you want to encourage people to use your business, you know, having that extra or as much value as possible is always really appreciated. So, right, I might just, I know that was just a very small little walkthrough, but just wanted to share a little bit more information if that was okay. But did anyone have any, I want to say not so much any questions, I'd really just encourage you, if you haven't already downloaded it, to download the app and just really have a little bit of a play. You know, it really is, you know, a matter of, what I say, just getting used to the search. But as I said, maybe saving some of the items that you're interested in into your favorites and so forth. But one thing I will say is similar to how I mentioned about some upcoming functionality happening with the website, that will also be happening with the app. So yeah, watch this space, but it will be even better. But I will just stop sharing. Lovely, and I'll go back to the right. Can everyone see the presentation?
Yep.
Again,
Yes.
wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So just moving along, I just pulled out a couple of, and this was actually mentioned before, someone going into Noel Leeming. Can I just say, we're not trying to promote one business over another. We don't have any exclusivity deals. We have on board 2 JB Hi-Fi. We also had Smith City on board. But I'm just using this as an example because the information that I hold about card usage is commercially sensitive, but this was an actual public-facing advert that Noel Leeming used, so I can use it because it's in the, when I say in the public, but it was just to show that in 2024, cardholders saved over $2 million off the advertised price at Noel Leeming. So it was just to highlight, I think, that cumulatively, and we talked before about the, you know, huge number of cardholders across the country. But what's great about this, I sort of look at that they can definitely see the value in being part of the program, but also that cardholders are getting the value from their card as well. So it's sort of a win-win for everyone. So that's the reason for just showing this particular image. This image here that I'm showing you now is, and I'd be very interested to hear if people receive the SuperGold e-newsletter. So there's a seniors newsletter that comes out every 2 months, and that has a little bit of an introduction from the minister and a few different articles of interest. And then we have an opportunity to have some SuperGold offers at the bottom of that. But in the interim months, we have what we call our SuperGold EDM, which means electronic direct mail, and that's very much just focused around offers. So it's got a little bit of an introduction. It normally has a theme. The one on the screen in front of you is we had the theme of health, and the offers just on the right hand side, although I couldn't fit them all in, were health related in a way of hearing aids, spectacles. One that's not on here is the Lumino, the dentists offer a 10% discount for SuperGold card holders. But when I mentioned before about different updates like this one here, again, was reminding people about the SuperGold Information Hub, and also about it promoted the app if people hadn't had an opportunity to sends them directly to the page that I showed you before. But could I just not so much get a show of hands, or if people wanted to just let me know if they did get this communication, or if this looks familiar to you?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
We have one.
There we go. So the easiest way for this to get on board with this is just to ring the 0800 number on the back of your SuperGold card. It's 0800 25 45 65. Can I just let you know now that that is a very popular phone line, so there is a wait time. However, they've introduced the option for yourselves not to have to wait on the phone. I think it's a call waiting functionality that you can get a call back. So but all you have to do is ring that number and then talk to one of the lovely staff we have at the call center, and just let them know that you'd like to receive the SuperGold e-newsletter. And then you'll be there's a little tick box that is indicated, and every single newsletter that happens, we get a fresh lot of data that gets put together for people for it to be sent out to those people that want to receive it. And if you didn't want to receive it anymore at any stage, absolutely you can unsubscribe from it, but I can attest to this being really valuable for both showing sort of latest offers as well as sort of latest information, and it only comes once every 2 months. So
Tim, is there a link, or that you could send me that I could pass on to subscribe to the newsletter rather than calling?
Yes, please.
I'll check that out. Insofar as I know for the seniors newsletter, which is exactly the same. It's the same data set that gets used. I think, yes. So leave that with me, and I think we can do that. So even if that link is for the seniors newsletter, which I'd also recommend yourselves getting, because again, it's slightly different, but still very useful. So yes, after this, I'll send you that. They've definitely got a form if you want to do that rather than call.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Whitney. Or even somewhere actually on the app where we can tick to subscribe to the newsletter. Because we're pretty sick of waiting on the phone.
Fair enough, Deb. And I've already written that down as perhaps a future enhancement. We don't currently have that. I can say we don't have that at the moment, but that would be great if we can make a more of a seamless way for people to be able to subscribe.
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool. This was just an example of, again, when people mentioned before about coffee, McDonald's has been part of the program for quite a few years. The reason I mention this is because of my very next slide. I don't know how many people have actually been to McDonald's for a McCafe. It's any size coffee for $3, which is a pretty good deal. I don't know how much flat whites or lattes are up in Auckland, but it's a lot more than $3 in Wellington. But the reason I mentioned is this was an example that came through social media from a group called the Epic Retirement Club. It's not a New Zealand-based group, it's worldwide, but this particular gentleman had just received this was on the 4th of July, sorry, it's a little bit blurry when I made the image a bit larger, but he was an Opanaki, and he said this was his first McCafe latte, he said large of course, just for $3 with SuperGold. And what I loved was how many people, you can see all the lovely blue ticks and so forth saying, can't wait till I get mine. I love McCafe when I'm back home in New Zealand. So there's some people from overseas and so forth, but it's just we find it really social media can be both positive and negative, but this was just an example of something quite simple, but was just fantastic from helping share both the information of where people could get a discount, as well as perhaps maybe people think, oh, perhaps I should look at not only getting a coffee but other places that I could use my card.
Yeah.
Just for the fast food theme, and believe me, we don't all just sell fast food, but I chose this one here with Burger King, because it's a 20% offer. They've been part of the program for a few years now, and that's off the total order. So it's a fantastic discount, but the reason that I showed this also is because when we talk about signage, I use this as almost like an exemplar model of a business that has not only, they didn't use our free window stickers, decals. They produce their own, and it's right up there on the counter, so you cannot miss it if you are going up to the counter. And that's what we're really trying to encourage all businesses, so that even if you didn't have, although I said before, it'd be great if you could have your phone with you using the app or accessing the website from your phone. We want businesses to be as visual as possible. So if people are just walking by and weren't aware or weren't even thinking about using their card, that they would know where to use it. I just wanted to show that we also have healthier offers, like so. Otherwise, you'd be thinking I'm trying to take you down a fast food path. So thanks for being on board again for a few years, and again a decent discount too, with 15% off. And I can attest, because there's a tank across the road from where I work that has their SuperGold sticker that we provide right up next to the till. So which was great. So fair dues to them. These discounts here, someone mentioned before about filling up with fuel. So Caltex is our probably it is our largest fuel provider, part of the Z Energy brand. Still trying to get Z on board, but Caltex is doing a great job. They've also been great with their advertising. They had quite a bit of TV advertising around Olympic time, and also in the All Black tests about their discount. So I was really pleased.
That one is going to be flat now. It's going to knock me out. There we
go. Again, we've got other fuel companies besides Caltex, but I just mentioned the fact that we encourage business partners to advertise their discount, not just on their outside their stores, but larger ones like Caltex itself. Was great to see that they thought that there was enough value within their offer that they would use other channels. NPD, you see more and more of their self-service pumps around. Unfortunately, this discount here is only available at the moment in the South Island with manned service stations. They don't have a way of facilitating the discount as yet, but I am going to try my best to talk about the Caltex example, which they in their pay-in app have SuperGold included. So you can, there's an API, which is just a fancy technical term for the ability for a card holder to validate that they're a SuperGold card holder in their pay-in app, so then they could get the SuperGold discount at both manned and unmanned Caltex stations. So I'll be trying to have that conversation with the MPD as well, because they're opening more and more across the country. But at the moment, just to be clear, it's only at their manned stations. But and the other one just down the bottom there was Challenge Fuel.
But we got bigger discounts from other places with other discount cards. It's far better than some of these that they're offering. It's they're trying to get our business, but they got to come up to the real life.
Yeah, no, Brian, especially within fuel, I can totally attest. I know I've seen some, the different loyalty cards and so forth that are around, and again, we're when I say it's grateful, the right word, we're appreciative of people offering discounts, but absolutely that conversation is ongoing as far as offering value. But I do take your point, and people that are savvy will. And it's a very good point that you make too, Brian, not to also discount the businesses that we have on board, but we always encourage people to, with any purchase, to make sure that they do due diligence and look around as well. Just because someone offers a SuperGold discount, you're exactly right, it might not be necessarily the best discount out there, but there are definitely ones that are only available at just pointing out the one that I've got on screen now, the Woolworths one, so which matches the staff discount. No one else can get that.
If you're anything like us, we don't use a lot of fuel, whereas when we were working, going to and from work, we used to use one heck of a lot. Now we don't go out every day, so we don't use a lot of fuel,
Yeah.
And we still get a good discount,
Yep. No, fair point. Absolutely. I've actually got a couple of just about finished. I've got a couple of videos that I'd like to show you. Just on the it's on an IT theme, which I hope you enjoy. This one here you might recognise is Ronnie Corbett. and the other gentleman, his name just escapes me, Harry Enfield. So this is an old one, but I hope you enjoy it. I'm just fingers crossed that all the technology works.
Just a very quick thanks, Tim. I'm going to go, but
Yeah.
Thanks for a very interesting session. I really enjoyed it. And I'm sorry to have to go now.
No, all good, Chris. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Cheers. Right, I'm just going to share. And share sound, right. Hopefully this all works now.
I bought something from you last week, and I'm very disappointed. Oh, yeah? What's the problem? Yeah, well, my BlackBerry is not working. What's the matter? Run out of juice? No, it's completely frozen. Oh, yeah, I can see that. I'll tell you what. Let's try it on orange. That's got a few black spots, you see. Oh, dear, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Was there anything I can do to get my BlackBerry working? Well, it could be an application issue. But where do you store that BlackBerry? Well, it's on my desktop. Well, you could try using a mouse to drag the BlackBerry to the trash. Then after you've done that, you might want to launch the BlackBerry from the desktop. Well, I've already tried that a few times. I mean, all it did was mess up Windows. Well, it might be worth waiting a couple of weeks. They got the latest BlackBerries coming in then. Well, could you give me a date? Certainly. Let me put that date in my diary. Anything else I can help you with? Yes. I've also got a problem, to be honest, with my Apple. Oh, dear. That is an old Apple, isn't it? Yeah. When did you buy that? Last week. Last week? Oh, they brought out 2 new Apples since then. What's the problem with it? Well, I've tried to put my dongle in it, and it won't fit. Oh, yeah. And how big's your dongle? Well, I don't know much about these things, but my wife's seen a few dongles in her time. And she says it's a little bit on the small side. Well, I'm afraid there's not a lot I can do about that. Tell you what, let me try booting it. No, it's crashed. Anything else I can help you with? Well, funnily enough, yes. My grandson's birthday soon, you see. Now, he's already got an Apple and a BlackBerry. I mean, have you got anything else that you might just like? Well, we're doing a special offer on these. I mean, I can't make head or tail of them, but the kids seem to like them. Oh, yeah. Xbox. 360.
There we go. So that was just a little a clip around technology, and I did have a couple of. I'll just show you one more. This one here was actually from overseas, and it showed how technology, with all how great it is trying to make our lives easier, how sometimes it doesn't always work out. So this is an advert about how the simple things are sometimes the best solution. So this is a gentleman living in a smart house that everything does what he commands it to do until it doesn't. So.
The Love Big Deals are now at No Leeming.
Playing jazz.
Playing jazz.
Smoothie.
Making smoothie.
Calendar.
No meetings today. Remember, dentist at 9:30.
Fire off.
Fire off.
Open door.
Door open.
And we're gonna do one more.
Oh, yeah. Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open door.
Wrong voice command.
Open door.
Repeat that.
Open door.
I didn't understand that.
Hey, open door.
Play on the floor.
Get over the door. Open the door.
Wrong
Open the door.
command. Error.
Hey, there. With a rock. Open door. Open door. Open door. Higher.
Higher volume.
Higher.
Higher.
There we go. So no, it was just a. Oh. It was just a couple of little. This I was going to say this is the very last one. How technology can't do everything. This is quite a short one.
Emma. Huh? Emma. 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 Emma.
Right, there we go.
Thank you for that humor. I really like that one.
Yeah, there's some great ones. There's some great ones out there. But yeah, even though I always sort of show or have the opportunity, if I do have the opportunity of showing it at the end, because even as great as technology is, it's definitely not the be all and end all. So but oh, look, I really appreciate everyone's time today. I was going to say, I know we're just coming up, and a few people may have other things to go to, but more than happy to answer any other questions that may have come up. I really appreciate everyone's feedback and interactivity, and yeah, hopefully you got a few things out of today. I will definitely be sending Whitney a link to do with being able to fill out the form for the newsletter. And also, even after this, if there are any questions that come up, Whitney's got my details there, so more than happy to answer those at a later date. But
I'd just like to add, from my point of view, it was way over my head, too technical. I couldn't get my mobile phone to do things like you were doing.
Okay.
Yeah, my mobile phone is a phone, and that's it.
Right, Brian. I see what you're saying with the and look, again, that's why we've got the option for the website and so forth. I know that you're on the Zoom call now, so you're more au fait than a lot of other people out there with your actual desktop or laptop or whatever you're using. So we're definitely got laptop. There we go. So we'll definitely make sure that you'll be able to search for discounts and as I mentioned before, there will be a lot more intuitive searching based on your location. Noting that the app's got the near me functionality, but we'll be looking to enhance what's there on the website now to make it easier for you to search. So, but look, I do take your point. Not everyone is going to have a smartphone or even a smartphone, sort of that necessarily is compatible. So that's why we've got a number of different options for people to use. But I do take your point.
And if everyone is keen, or if you have interest, I'm more than happy to host a little tech help to go through downloading the SuperGold app and a bit of a run through of what Tim has covered. So we could definitely look at doing that as an in-person session. And yeah, so just let me know if that's of interest.
Oh, yes, please.
Cool.
Does anyone else have any other questions?
Too technical to ask questions about.
Yeah, no.
That's all right, Brian. We can
It
do
was good
we
to
can do
listen
a
to,
bit
and
of a
all this,
tech
and
help
to
for
know
you,
that's
okay?
out there, but oh, blimey.
Well, yes, I think being able to subscribe to the newsletter then will probably be quite beneficial for you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Tim, for
Cool.
joining us today.
Yeah,
No
thank
problem
you
at
very
all.
much, Tim.
Yeah, no
Yes,
problem at all.
it was
Lovely.
a great presentation. Thank you.
No problem at all. I was going to say, really lovely to meet you all, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
No problem at all.
Thank you, Tim.
Okay,
Yeah.
take care.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mm.